I'm your host, Dr. Joe Dispenza. Let's begin.
Sure, and I believe in that. I believe in that. It only takes one person to change the consciousness of the planet. We've seen it too many times. And nobody chose those people. Nobody chose any of those people. They chose themselves. And God, I'm sure Martin Luther King felt a lot of fear every day, but it didn't stop him from showing up and being great. I think Gandhi, was uncompromising in his will, and he was principled, and other people caused them to see the same vision that he saw. And so, gosh, what a time in history now, because it's so important for people to see that so many things that are collapsing in the world currently today is because a new paradigm has to evolve out of that. And every single person has to be the example of change, no matter what position they're in. And if we do this enough times, we give other people permission to do the same. I believe that in time a prison could become a monastery if enough people begin to make those changes. And it's not like abstain from life or abstain from living, but something else is transformative is happening where, wow, you make your change in a great place, and you get closer to love, you get closer to gratitude, you get closer to freedom, you get closer to joy, you get closer to bliss. And now it doesn't matter what environment you're in, you're happy with yourself. And I think that's when you really get out of jail, when you really get out of prison. I love the idea. I in one of the programs that we did for a host of Latin American prisons in Mexico City and in Panama and Argentina, we invited the families to join every one of those sessions. We did a whole bunch of different classes every week or every other week, and we invited them to join, and they encourage the model, and all of a sudden they join in doing it. And I think that if you can really begin to do something good, not only for yourself, that's the beginning, but so many people, when they start feeling good, what do you think you do? You say, when energy moves into your heart, and I don't care who you are, what kind of past you've had, and we've had people with some pretty brutal past change their life. They feel so in love with life. They feel so free. They feel so much joy, that there's only one thing you want to do when you feel that way is you want to give. That's the only thing you want to do. You want other people to feel the way you feel. When you're feeling unhappy, when you're feeling angry, I think you want other people to feel the way you feel. And I don't think that's a conscious process. And so people who hate themselves hate others. Or people who are angry with themselves are angry with others. People who suffer, for some reason, love to be around other people that suffer. Get enough people in a state of joy, and get enough people in a state of love, and do it in the proper way, not positive thinking. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about something completely different. True execution, and to be able to measure that and say, hey, I actually did it. We have devices that can teach people how to do that. Wow, God, and that becomes your journey. You're not going to be part of the tribe in the same way any longer. You're going to be something different, and other people are going to notice it. And when other people notice that you're not showing up in the memory that they have of you, because we don't see things how they are, we see things how we are. When you show up differently in the smallest way, people notice that. You're out of phase. There's not a pattern recognition any longer. And you're not responding or reacting, or you're not doing the same thing in the same way. I think other people notice that right away, and they move closer to that because they're waiting for someone to lead. Well, what if everybody's leading? I think it's a powerful message. And when we do this in prison systems in Latin America, my whole thing is not only bring the family in, but let's do something where we can begin to affect the world. That's when it becomes really, really important. Well, if you think about this, and I've thought about it a lot, when you receive something favorable, or you've just received something favorable, if something wonderful just happened to you and surprised you, or something amazing is happening to you in the moment, you feel this feeling of gratitude. So the emotional signature of gratitude is something just happened to you that's wonderful, or something that's happening to you in the present moment is truly amazing. So gratitude is the ultimate state for the body and the mind to receive. So we only accept, believe, and surrender to information that's equal to our emotional state. We never accept, believe, and surrender information that's not equal to our emotional state. And you could say, I'm healthy, I'm healthy, I'm healthy, I'm healthy, I'm wealthy, I'm wealthy, I'm wealthy, I'm wealthy, I'm free, I'm free, I'm free, and your body's going, no, you're not, you're miserable, you're unhappy, you're suffering. Because the body and the mind are in opposition. Turns out 95% of who we are by the time we're 35 is a set of programmed habits where the body becomes the mind. So if we can move out of that state into a state of gratitude, then the body's believing, it doesn't know the difference, remember, between the real life experience that's creating the emotion of gratitude and the body in the state of gratitude by thought alone. So the body's believing it's living in a new environment. When it's living in a new environment and you begin to program it with certain thoughts, you can begin to influence the body to change. So the body begins to receive information in a state of gratitude. And that energy, when we feel gratitude, begins to do something so beautiful. We've seen this so many times. When you feel gratitude and your heart is feeling safe enough to create and move out of survival, it starts informing the brain. It starts sending, like if you took a big sheet and you give it a little quick rip, it would send a wave. Well, you see this kind of wave of energy move right into the brain, and the brain moves into a very coherent creative state called alpha brainwaves. Now, the heart is informing the brain it's safe to create now. It's safe to have new ideas. It's safe to be present. And the heart starts producing more energy that begins to flood the brain to be more creative. So then the thoughts that the person thinks in a state of gratitude are more unlimited. They start believing in themselves, and you can't believe in yourself without believing in possibility, and you can't believe in possibilities without believing in yourself. So gratitude is the state in which we begin to open the heart. It's a state in which we're able to receive. The body is believing it's in a new environment, and the body's way more programmable, and we can program the autonomic nervous system into a whole new expression of chemicals, hormones, gene expression, and everything else, and immune regulation. We've measured all that, and the body just gets stronger because it's out of stress and out of survival. Programming is called programming, whether it's TV or whatever, for a reason. Because when people stare into a screen, we'll just say a TV as an example, what they don't know is their brain waves are slowing down and they're suppressing their analytical facilities. And what separates the conscious mind from the subconscious mind is the analytical mind. So when you stare into a TV and you're not thinking and analyzing and you're in trance, you're very suggestible to information, and you can begin to program your autonomic nervous system into all different kinds of states that most people don't even know. So you watch television commercials, they're playing with your psyche the whole entire time, causing you to think that you need something outside of you to change your internal state. So we decided, my goodness, if we can teach people how to move into trance with their eyes open, then create a movie where they're the star and make it as unlimited as you want, whatever that is, that you could program your autonomic nervous system in the same way. And just like when you hear a song on the radio and you start thinking of a time in your life with a certain person, a certain place, and a certain time, that song is recalling events from the past. Well, you could do the same exact thing with a mind movie. And when you combine it with a song and you're watching this movie of your future, if you keep watching it enough times, when you hear that song, it's going to cause you to remember your future, just like remember your past. And people begin to program their subconscious mind in very, very interesting ways, and they start having these incredible opportunities show up in their life because it's programmed that way. So we ask people to make movies of their future, and within the realm of their understanding and acceptance, to begin to watch that before they go to bed at night, instead of watching some horror movie or some violent movie. Let's program you into just feeling really good about you and believing in yourself, and program yourself into a more unlimited state instead of a limited state. So we use the mind movie technology all the time, and we teach the science of how to reprogram the subconscious, and it produces some pretty powerful changes in people's health and in their lives too.